My name is Elisa Lironi and I'm the Program Director for European Democracy at the European Citizen Action Service. For years we have been studying digital democracy and how citizens can actually use e-participation tools to reach out to their policymakers at the local, at the national, and especially at the EU level. A few years ago, we've been doing some research about how we can define the success of digital democracy tools and how citizens can also have more impact on policies at the EU level and work together with their representatives to co-create legislations, directives, etc. We found out that at the EU level, apart from consultations or the European Citizens Initiative or even petitions to the European Parliament, there was still something missing. A real e-participation tool for citizens to constantly set the agenda and to also co-create policies with their policymakers and representatives. So this is why we decided in another project a few years back to go across Europe and to see what citizens are interested in discussing about at the EU level. A few topics came out very prominent, for example, on environmental issues, on health issues, etc. So in the end, we decided that it was time to start a real transnational project of crowdsourcing on the topic of air quality. Why air quality? Air quality actually causes more than 400,000 premature deaths in Europe. And we think that citizens should actually have a say in what really impacts their daily lives. So the Code Europe project was actually created in order to test out a real transnational crowdsourcing that would allow citizens to have a say on air quality in Europe. This project lasts 3 years. It started last year, in which we started a research component of the project. There was an assessment framework that was built in order to define the success of e-participation, and there was also the creation of ethical guidelines for social listening. In the second year of the project, we launched a transnational crowdsourcing in 10 different cities across Europe, together with a sister project called DigiDem, which is funded by the Europe for Citizens project. And basically what happened is that we're running this crowdsourcing on air quality, which is divided into 4 different phases. In the first phase, so for the first 3 months, we have asked citizens to identify all the problems that they have in their daily lives related to air quality and pollution. We've received more than 300 contributions that were actively given by citizens, identifying what really issues they have in their daily lives due to the pollutions of their cities. In the second phase, we had the problem-solving part. So after the identification of problems, we asked citizens in these 10 different cities to tell us how they want their local, national, and European policymakers to actually tackle these problems on the local level and the national level and the European level around air quality issues. And here we received almost 800 active contributions of solutions that citizens would like to see. In the third phase, we actually had around 900 citizens also voting for the top 10 solutions that they think should be a priority, especially at the EU level, to be implemented as soon as possible. And these citizens' preference were decided amongst 30 different solutions, and the top 3 were around taxing big companies that are polluters, or for example, supporting renewable energy infrastructures and also supporting cycling and walking infrastructures in their cities. In the fourth phase, we're going to be asking citizens to basically co-create with experts a text that will be then sent next year to all EU legislators and representatives that are actually working on air quality policies. For example, did you know that in these days the European Commission is actually revising the Ambient Air Quality Directive? This is a directive that actually sets limits on pollution in the air that people breathe. And this is extremely important, as citizens should be a part of this discussion. And we hope that through this transnational crowdsourcing, next year we can advocate actively for what citizens have been calling for in this whole year of collecting their ideas. We will make sure that these ideas reach MEPs, European Commission officials that are working around environmental issues.